Now, amber, and this is a real problem. Amber came out in 21 or 22, according to the trade journals, 22. It is a radically different amber from the old Cambridge amber. It's a warmer brown, whereas the old amber has this yellow tone to it. The first of the Cambridge ambers were dark. There's no doubt about that. These are blown pieces, and blown pieces tend to be lighter colored than heavy press pieces. So you can see that it is darker. However, you get a really heavy press piece, and the heavy press piece is darker. This is a really cool envelope holder with the Dresden rose on it. And this has got a great 22 karat gold Cambridge label on it. This is a wonderful, wonderful Windsor Castle vase. What a great piece. A Decagon ice bucket in Rosalie. These are 20s. These are 20s pieces. An amber oval sandwich tray with a 700 series etching on it. The 274 10-inch bud vase with what we call the stream of hearts. There's a series of hearts in this medallion on both sides of it. This one's gold trimmed. Wonderful, wonderful decanter with a sterling silver friar smoking a pipe on it. It has the original amber blown stopper that's hollow. And the matching glass with the little friar on it. No pipe. Super rare Mahjong overnight set. Mahjong Chinese tile game. It's quite rare. There's not a lot of this known. There seem to be some amber oval snack plates with a saucer ring on them in this pattern. As you can see in this point, it wasn't patterns like Caprice and Mount Vernon and Tally Ho. It was basically shapes. The beginning of Cambridge amber, the dresser compact again. The prism sign, which Cambridge called these, they have another name for these. Pyramid sign. Yeah, they're always going to be prism signs, but Cambridge did call this a pyramid sign. Great little amber sanitary lid syrup, pressure lid. Very, very unusual amber Chelsea bowl. Great little amber perfume bottle, dauber. And this one has a real interesting applied celluloid foot. I'm trying to get out of the way of it so you can see. I've seen this with several different styles of celluloid foot. Nut cup, really cool. Round line nut cup, which eventually was retooled into a decagon one with a decagon edge. And an amber community lamp with decal wear on it. This thing's really rare. This is not cinnamon yet. Cinnamon is amber satin finished, and that will come along in the 30s. The next color, oh boy, golden showers, golden rod, gold opalescent. We don't know what they were doing exactly. It obviously was made to compete with Heisey's Marigold color. It's identical to Heisey Marigold. Some of it has a slight opalescence along the bottom or top edge. This has opalescence on both edges. This is a very, very rare compote with the early wildflower etching. We're still not sure about this opalescent deal. This has a slight opalescent edge to it. And there have been more perfumes show up than anything else. And they tend to have an orange shoulder, but they have opalescence around the collar on the top. And this is kind of odd for a rare color like this to show up in something like a perfume bottle. But this may have been an order for somebody, because there's a number of the perfumes. The other pieces have the plain. They don't have the opalescence. This was all made someplace in the 20s. Cheese stand for a cheese and crackers. And a tall candlestick. Here is a Martha Washington footed creamer that thins out. It's almost clear in the middle, but there's still yellow tone to it. And it has a slight opalescence to the foot. Another one of the composts. This is the piece you see after the perfume most often, with the opalescence on the edge. We don't know if this is the same formula or two different formulas. We're not sure, and we're not sure about which is golden showers, which is goldenrod, or if they are both. It's kind of hard to tell. Now, the big problem you have with this color is flashed pieces. And here, this one's very obvious. This is flashed on color. This is not colored all the way through. And this one's easy to tell because when they etched it, they etched through the flashing and it left clear spots. And this one is the same way. It's been cut through so you can see where the clear is, that they've cut through the flashing. Now this one's tough because it is completely coated. And it looks for all the world like marigold, but this is actually flashed on. And the Westmoreland Glass Company, believe it or not, did this. They also did it on Heisey candelabras. And they put it in their catalog as a piece of Westmoreland glass. They bought it from Cambridge and Heisey and retailed it as Westmoreland glass. And it's actually a flashing. You see a lot of the Heisey candelabras, and they go all the way from a pale yellow to a dark amber color. Their flashing's very inconsistent. They are the ones that flashed this, and they are the ones that flashed this. Okay, maybe a little easier as far as amber goes is Madeira. Madeira came out in the late 20s, didn't live very long. It is generally called mocha, but it really is Madeira, and it is an extremely pale, warm, almost peachy amber. It's a very pleasant color. If you don't know the time frame of the shapes, you'd think it was mocha. And that is what seems to make mocha or Madeira is the time frame. It has to be pieces out of the late 20s. Two Kid, Sugar Bucket. This is the bottom of a syrup or a cigarette jar etched in Clio. The large flower frog, and this one's really interesting. They haven't blown the holes out, and so these should all be gone from here. They've left all these on here. This is what opens the hole up into the water, and these should all be knocked off. This has a really nice patent on the side, and the number 5 for 5 inches. Definitely some tally-ho is Madeira up into the early 30s. And some 3400 and quite a bit of decagon will be Madeira. This has Breton etching on, unusual piece. Question mark, this is moving into, let's stay away from that. The pencil dog, is it Madeira, is it pale amber? It's not mocha because this has the early detail on the eyes and on the teeth. So this predates mocha. And lots of times in these ambers, the way to tell which ones are which is by the time frame of the mold or the mold work. Early style swan that we have all called mocha is undoubtedly Madeira. And if you have an amber one to compare it to, it becomes a little easier. Amber has much more brown. It gathers a lot more color than the Madeira one does. Did I get everybody there? Okay. Amber. Not sure what was going on with Cambridge, whether they were having trouble getting amber to hold, or I don't know. It was lighter at the top of the pot and it was darker at the bottom of the pot. I don't think anybody's ever going to be able to give the answer to this one way or the other. But it seems like some of the early amber is very, very pale. And we're now in the 30s. They reintroduced amber in 2930. This is a pressed rose point goblet and a keyhole, I'm not holding the right way, keyhole ivy ball. And these are probably early 30s amber that's just on the pale side. Here is a snail vase, which is obviously mid to late 30s. And this one's pale and this one's dark. And it's very, very hard to say that these are a different color. They probably are not. Cambridge probably just didn't have good control over the amber. I've got some other pale amber pieces here. Two nice tumblers done in apple blossom. And a wonderful, wonderful apple blossom decanter. You hardly ever see this decanter. This is unusual size. It's much bigger. It's much bigger. Another piece that really should be a little darker for the thickness of the piece, Amber Everglades. Again, it's probably amber. It's probably not Madeira by the time frame, as this is a mid to late 30s piece. Okay, getting into regular 1930s amber, regular color, a nice keyhole Elaine gold encrusted candlestick. And we start to see patterns. You know, before we saw shapes and very few patterns. Now we're going to start to see Mount Vernon and two styles of Martha Washington. The early style has one thumbprint flute, and the newer style has 2 or 3 rows of thumbprints. Another nice seashell piece, the snail vase, and a very, very unusual Lexington vase in amber. We're still not sure about the time frame on this. We think 30s, but we're not sure. It's hard to find. The amber covered turkey. These were made 30s into 40s. Amber Bashful Charlotte. And there are 2 styles of the Bashful Charlotte if you really get to study. This is an amber satin, or cinnamon is what they called amber that was satin finished. And we're not sure, but we think the earlier style has 2 flowers that stick out in the air here. And the later style has 1 flower that is set right into the side of her hair. It doesn't stick out. The entire nude stem line came in amber in this time frame. There are a few rare ones with optic in them, but most of them are the plain amber. More pieces of cinnamon, a wonderful ball top tumbler, and it does have a matching ball jug that didn't get to fly up here with the Moors. This is an amber cinnamon because it's satin finished, Everglades nappy. And another pattern that amber came in, Nautilus, like the topaz goblet. This is a great amber etched begonia, sugar and creamer. It's a very, very rare etching. These are equally hard to find. Amber, dolphin, candlesticks in seashell. And quite rare, amber tally-ho large goblet. Again, like I said, the nudes come, all the nudes come in amber. There's a very rare covered candy box. And an equally rare amber candlestick with a matching amber Beauvais. Pretty. A very rare nude, Crown Tuscan with an amber bowl. This is not like the yellow one. This is really hard to find. We don't know why, because they made so much amber. You would think it would be more common, but it isn't. Here's one of the little 3-inch vases in amber. This was made for a long period of time. Later on, this was put in the Caprice line with the Caprice optic in it. Here is an amber Everglade candlestick that should be, these should be the same color, but they're not. This is way, way darker. And for the weight of this piece should be every bit as dark, but it's not. No explanation. Wonderful grouping. It's great to see so many different ones. 3104 goblet, hawk, champagne, cocktail, and a very elusive cordial. Sort of a round ball. Cool. Decagon was almost everything in Decagon. This is a lightning handled sugar, was made in amber. And almost everything in Keyhole was made in amber. This is a wonderful chintz etched vase and a gold encrusted Portia vase. Keyhole. Note how dark this pillow vase is. It's extremely dark. This has Diane on it. That's beautifully done. A great piece. Some more cool seashell pieces. The 9-inch shell bowl and the 8-inch compote. These are probably signed. This one is. This one is. This is a great combination. A crystal 3120 etched apple blossom goblet with an amber stem. Beautiful, beautiful 3400 Dalton jug. Golden crusted Diane. The Mount Vernon-y 1338 Mount Vernon-y Caprice candlestick. This one has the Mount Vernon on the knobs here in the middle of it. And a really elusive amber bowl. These are really, really hard to find. As are the amber goblets. There was not a lot of this made. These Caprice in these odd colors, quite hard to find. Beautiful early wildflower vase done in gold. What a great piece. It's done sort of like a barber pole. Questions thus far about amber? Okay. Someplace in the early 30s they combined gold crystal and amber. This is a 3035 goblet, amber stem, gold crystal top, etched Breton. And the same thing, etched Gloria. And etched apple blossom. And a cordial etched apple blossom. Gold crystal came out the same time as amber, around 1930. It was made to compete with Hazy Sahara. And it is a weak yellow color, relatively easy to tell until we come to Mandarin Gold, and I'll explain that later. But again, it came in a wide variety of patterns. Mount Vernon, Everglade, a little bit rare in Everglade in this color than the other colors. The turkey. The yellow one's hard to find. Caprice, super rare in gold crystal. Every one of these I've ever seen has been a gold cup with a crystal saucer or a crystal cup with a gold saucer. And these people buy them and put them together. We don't know why they didn't sell them together, but they didn't seem to. Gold Crystal 3400 line, the lightning sugar again. Another piece of Everglades in satin finish. We don't have a name like we had amber satin finish they called cinnamon. We don't have a name for the satin finished gold crystal. It only seems to show up in this vase. Wide variety of etchings in gold crystal. The Windsor Castle pitcher and tumbler. And these have the regal lion etch on the back of them. This one, the regal lion's under the spout. Apple Blossom was made in a huge variety on gold crystal. This is a wonderful little framed cigarette box in Apple Blossom. The framing is brass. Was done by a company in New York. And we have a couple great little Apple Blossom ashtrays in frames to match the cigarette box. More Apple Blossom, a goblet that is gold trimmed in 3130, and an elusive claret that is not gold trimmed, and a 3135 wine glass in gold crystal Apple Blossom. There's 5 or 6 different stems that gold Apple Blossom came in. This is one of the harder ones to find. It's a rather interesting blown square top on it. Very hard to find blown Apple Blossom finger bowl and liner with the optic in it. Dinner plate, these are hard to find in the early patterns. And then they also did a beautiful gold treatment on Apple Blossom where they gold decorated the medallion. Most of this is signed. All the flatware, the plates, cups, and saucers are signed. Ice buckets are signed. There's a candlestick. They've completely gold encrusted the cups. And then the medallion also. And the sugar and creamer done the same way. Stuff's beautiful. Ugh. And a cup and saucer, even with a gold handle, gold trim, and gold medallions. Pretty stuff. Again, a wide variety of etchings. Here is a Porsche puff box on gold crystal. And a rather elusive rosily etched 1066 goblet. And a really rare gold Apple Blossom nude champagne. These are truly rare. Colored etched nudes are hard to find. Lorna. Lorna you don't see on color real often. It's a great gold crystal keyhole vase. And a Porsche ball jug. Pretty the way they etched this pattern 4 times on the jug. Nudes. Most everything is available in a nude. They are generally optic. This is the claret. This is a rare non-optic claret. A very rare V cocktail optic. And the standard nude cocktail in Crown Tuscan, but this one has an optic bulb. Usually they have a plain bulb. More nice etchings. Unusual large tumbler in Porsche. And a Wildflower 3121 goblet. And a Wildflower globe vase. Nice piece. Oh. Unusual gold crystal double egg cup. Use it either way. Gold crystal pencil dog. How do you tell a gold crystal pencil dog from a Mandarin gold pencil dog? Mandarin gold pencil dog is fired a lot more and you can't see the eyes and the teeth. The gold crystal when you can see the eyes and the teeth. Swans. The Style 2 3-inch swan's easy to tell in gold crystal. However, the 3-inch Style 3 swan comes in Mandarin gold and gold crystal both. How do you tell the difference? The Mandarin gold one is a deeper yellow. You've got to put them together to see. You can see that these two are the same color, but you need a Mandarin gold 3 to tell the difference in the Style 3 swan. What did I miss here? Oh, cherub. Cherub candlestick in gold crystal, made in the early 30s only. And very, very rare pansy sugar and creamer. They're called a pansy berry sugar and creamer. And for years, I was trying to figure out where the berries were. And what this is this is a pansy pattern sugar and creamer in the berry size to be used with the berry set. So there are no berries on the pansy berry sugar and creamer. Did I miss anybody? Oh, yes. And a wonderful, this is actually part of decagon. It has 10 sides if you get to counting them. Tall candlestick. And one with a gray cutting on it. Let's see a lot of gray cutting on color in Cambridge. I think I got everybody. Okay. More amber. I don't think amber ever stopped by Cambridge, but there are definite time frames. And, oh, Deauville, I missed all the Deauville. Sorry. Gold crystal seems to be the only color this guy comes in. It's called Deauville. It's an interesting shape. There are no other pieces of Cambridge in the shape. The etching is a Deauville etching. And the stem has the Deauville pattern pressed around the top of it. There was matching silver and matching china to this pattern, which my mother happened to have for her wedding china and silver was Deauville. That was the thing to do in those days, was to match china and silver and hook the bride on the whole thing, you know. A Deauville champagne, a very unusual Deauville footed tumbler, large size and juice size. It's a cool pattern. Unfortunately, they did not do it in other colors. Amber, like I said, they kept right on rolling along with amber. It's starting to get darker for some reason or other. We don't know why. Of course, this star is not fair because it's so heavy. But they did come out with the colored stars someplace in 1940. They're quite rare. The bunny box came back out in 40 with no detail, no fur detail on it. It was made in amber and Tahoe blue, and it comes shiny or satin finished. Amber rooster muddler, which may be from the 30s and maybe from the early 40s. We're not sure, but all the rooster muddlers in color are hard to find. Diamond optic ball vase, which they made in 4 sizes, and a covered punch bowl. We don't know of the punch bowl in color, but the vases come in several colors. This is the smallest size that we know of. This one has a very early paper label on it. And a 6004 8-inch footed vase, and you can see how dark stuff's getting. We'll talk about this again. Flashing. Golden flashing. Done by a lady in Boston for B. Altman's. Unusual candlestick. They left the balls clear. In this instance, they cut back to the clear. This lady made this stuff for B. Altman. She did this golden color. She made a marigold color. She made a blue color, and she made a lavender color. And I can't tell you her name offhand, but her sister was a nun. And when she died, the abbey got her estate. And there were 4,000 pieces of flash glass in the basement that she had made for order for B. Altman's, and they never received it. And that's who did this kind of carnival-y like iridescence on Cambridge. Yeah, she also did it on Heisey and Duncan Miller. as well. Mocha. Um, Definitely leans to the Madeira color. It might be a little bit pinker. It seems to be primarily made for gyro optic and caprice. Those seem to be the two lines that Mocha comes in. There are a variety of Harlequin sets. There were 8 different colors that include a Mocha cocktail or cordial in Stradivarius. This is 7801 Daiquiri cocktail. And the Favor Vase cordial. And the nude cocktail. But Mocha seems to be pretty much reserved actually for stemware and caprice. Here's an elusive Mocha caprice cordial. Unlike Madeira that came in quite a few shapes and patterns, Mocha was pretty much reserved for caprice and stem lines. Okay, how do you tell Mandarin Gold from Gold Crystal? Well, if the piece is heavy enough, you can see that it's a darker yellow. And Gold Crystal has a slight green tinge to it, whereas Mandarin Gold is a pure yellow. If it's not heavy, like this real thin blown 1066 box, how do you tell? Well, the only way I can tell is time frame of the mold. And so if it's Decagon, if it's Everglades, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's Diane, if it's Portia, it's from the 30s, it's Gold Crystal. If it's Cascade, a Style 3 Swan, Caprice, Lexington, Calla Lily, it's going to be a later mold. It's going to be Mandarin Gold. Gyro Optic, Juice Pitcher. The Regal Lion Etch on the pinball vase, which is quite thin. You could mistake this for a Gold Crystal real easily, but it has to do with the time frame. A rather rare Caprice candlestick. You don't see this one. You see the 1338 triple, but this is pretty hard to find. In the instance of the Gold Crystal 1066 cordial, you have to have them next to each other to tell the Gold Crystal from the Mandarin Gold. It's slightly paler. And okay, questions about the two yellows at all? It's pretty much time frame is how you tell. If the piece is heavier, you got to know the mold or the etch or the cut. You got to know the time frame of the shape or the decoration to know which color it is. And like I said, Cambridge Amber was getting darker, and at the end, what they called amber and what the collectors call Cambridge Dark Amber seems to be Jenny Lind and nudes. Most of the satin nudes with the satin foots are late, and it's definitely a darker amber. This is a real unusual amber Cambridge square candlestick that a worker made for himself. I haven't seen other pieces of amber square before. Questions about amber and yellow? Anybody? Nope. So if I mix them all up, you guys could sort them all out. Richie bought some wonderful, interesting amber and yellow autumn-colored things that he's dug at the plant site. He's got a doorknob in a small-sized doorknob in topaz and in amber. I covet that amber doorknob. I don't have that one. And there's a couple atomizers you need to look in here that we probably would never have known that were Cambridge. The one with the 4 feet is a Gironde company atomizer. I recognize it. But some interesting things in here. It always seems to be a lot of perfume parts. They made 80-some perfume bottles for perfume companies. And of the 80, I think we know what about 65 or 15 of them look like. So there's 50, 60 perfumes out there that are Cambridge that we don't know what they look like. The mold record book just says De Vilbus bottle, Gironde bottle, Iris bottle. It's a perfume bottle, but we don't know which one it is. So Okay. Wow. So you all know all the colors, right? So at auction we'll have a quiz on the colors, okay? Everybody, thank you for bringing a long distance, bringing your things. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.